Monday it is. We have so much coming our way this week in terms of the weather, but of course we want to get you caught up on everything that's new. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford, and as mentioned, we have this little storm that's coming our way.
Yeah, you typically don't sound all 5 alarms unless it's legit. And I'm pretty sure a little while ago I heard 6 alarms going.
We got a few hammering right now.
So this one is real. Pay attention, folks.
It definitely
That's what you're
is.
telling us.
As a matter of fact, it's so good, we get to get rid of the desk for a little bit.
That's your favorite thing to do.
It is, so I'm going to push the desk out of the way. We have a winter storm watch that has been issued for all but Tuscarawas and Carroll counties. Now, if you think Tuscarawas and Carroll County are getting out of this, just wait. You're not quite into the time frame of the onset of the ice mix that's going to be coming your way. But the big picture shows that this storm system is just coming together. We are right now just beginning to see the 3 pieces: cold air, tropical moisture, big shot of energy. All 3 of these come together in the Plain States and then rocket through the Ohio Valley as we head through Thursday.
That's the volatile mix, right?
That's the mix, right?
Yeah.
So that would be able to be easily seen here as you follow the trail of the winter storm watches. They've already put out warnings for central Illinois and northern Indiana. And that is basically where it's a slam dunk on snow, lots and lots of snow. On the southern tier of all of those watches, that's where we start to get into the ice mixing. And we have huge issues with ice mixing that's going to be setting up for us. But you can see here in northern Ohio, we have that winter storm watch. It starts Wednesday morning. It goes through Friday morning. Thursday is going to be a very difficult day here in northern Ohio. Let me give you my top 3 concerns. Number 1, we have rain on Wednesday. Now, so many people are like, oh, it's just rain, it's fine. All of the drains, as I was driving in, every single drain on the highway is blocked with not a little bit, a lot of snow. Every street in Cleveland, the drains are blocked. Now we're melting a little snow and we're adding 3/4 of an inch maybe of rain. We're going to have widespread standing water everywhere. It is going to be a huge mess. Then we get the changeover. This happens Wednesday night into Thursday morning. The rain changes over to icy mix and snow. And then we still have all day Thursday to deal with the snow and the ice mix, and it really doesn't move out until Friday. The timeline looks like this. We have the snow that will be staying out of our area until Wednesday night. So basically we're looking rain Wednesday, late Wednesday into Wednesday night, the changeover takes place. Then all of us will see that change slide south through the day on Thursday. Finally, it's going to move out by the time we get into Friday. I keep telling you, and I keep stressing, and I'm actually to the point of begging now, don't focus on numbers. There's crazy numbers, and they're going to still change. We have to focus on the impacts, because no matter if you get 10 inches of snow or you get a 1/3 of an inch of ice, you're going to have huge impacts on the roads, in the air. Lots of school closings Thursday, Friday, like mega school closings, and power outages are going to be a big problem too.
Wow.
We are just starting to get the 3 pieces coming together. There's going to be changes and adjustments, but right now we are looking at a high impact storm for Northeast Ohio.
The biggest problem, it sounds like, will be those covered drains. All the rain we do get is just going to serve to...
It's going to sit there, and then the cold air comes in. Now you got snow on top of standing water, and then all of it freezes solid by the time we hit Saturday morning.
Wow.
Big problems, everybody.
Okay.
And we're not alone in this. There's others who are dealing with it. But here in Northeast Ohio, we are bracing for this big weather event as it's going to be unfolding. And ODOT is also making sure they have everything they need in order. They're sharing some helpful tips with drivers who will need to hit the road anyway.
Brandon Simmons has an update now on the preparations that they are making.
Now, one thing for certain, when this winter storm hits our area, the roads won't be nearly as clean as what we're seeing right now, no matter how many snowplows are out on the road come Wednesday. ODOT workers wrapped up a call with the National Weather Service this afternoon and were told to prepare for icy conditions at times, followed by a lot of snow similar to what we saw around Martin Luther King Day. Although snow could be falling for a longer period of time than it was then. They plan to keep the typical 300 plows on the roads across Northeast Ohio with workers on extended shifts. Now today, mechanics have been working to make sure all equipment is operational, but because this snowfall could continue into Friday, there are also some highway technicians taking days off to get ready.
I have heard of some of our highway technicians taking days off just to get rested up because they know they're going to be going on those 12-hour shifts for probably the rest of the week, starting maybe Tuesday evening. as the precipitation is expected to begin on Wednesday sometime.
We're also reminded that during snowstorms, ODOT's goal is to keep roads passable, not spotless. So there's a good chance you could only see a path of tire tracks in some areas, or not every lane is completely open. That's normal considering the number of roads they have to cover as the snow is falling. And remember, if you do have to go out, be sure to check the OGO app where you can look at live traffic cameras, check the road conditions for the place where you're headed. And of course, if you don't have to, don't go at all. I'm Brandon Simmons, 3 News.
All right, that's probably the best advice, Brandon. Thank you. Meantime, Mark Namick asked Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb about the city's snow preparations during an event today promoting the city's new vaccination campaign with the NBA and the Cavaliers ahead of next month's All-Star game. Mark joins us live now from downtown. Mark, good evening to you.
Good afternoon, Jay. And yes, the mayor said today, he warned people, keep your expectations in check, given what's coming Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He didn't answer questions today about why some city side streets need some more clearing, perhaps done in advance of what's coming. But he did reiterate what he talked about last week, that he has a plan that has to do with more snow plows, bringing technology into the mix to get better routes, more efficient, things like that. And he said he'll have more to talk about tomorrow on the topic. Here's what he said today.
I would just ask for patience because snowplows can only move as quickly as they possibly can. Those 20 trucks won't happen overnight, right? So they will not be here by Wednesday's snow event. You'll see some announcements from my office tomorrow about greater coordination between the city, RTA, our CDCs, Downtown Cleveland Alliance, and our healthcare organizations to make sure we're using every resource and asset we can.
The mayor also announced plans today with the NBA and the Cleveland Cavaliers to address some of the COVID issues here in the city of Cleveland. They talked about coming together to push out pop-up clinics for COVID testing and vaccination, and they're going to use their marketing muscle together to get the message out. In the city of Cleveland right now, Jay, only less than 50% are vaccinated. The mayor said he's shooting for a plan of 60% by the end of the year. And to hear more about those plans and COVID precautions during the All-Star game next month, check out What's Next at 6 or go to WKYC.com. Jay?
All right, Mark Namick, live from downtown. Mark, thank you. Now on your feet at 5, the FDA has granted Moderna full approval to its COVID-19 vaccine. The shot has already been given to tens of millions of Americans under emergency use authorization. That takes that tag away. That was granted back in December of 2020. Moderna is the second COVID vaccine to receive full approval from the FDA.
And as we take a look at Ohio's COVID numbers, they're way down again today. 4,160 cases reported over the last 24 hours. Now keep in check that is in comparison to our 3-week average of nearly 18,000. That is way below average. Hospitalizations also down compared to the state's average, with 359 of 359, 151 were reported over the last day. Well, more case numbers are trending down. That's great news. And we have even more good news to tell you about tonight on the COVID front. Cuyahoga County now has the lowest case rate among all 88 counties in Ohio. Not too long ago, we had the highest. Now Isabel Lawrence joins us. And Isabel, you spoke with the health commissioner at the Cuyahoga County Board of Health about these numbers.
Yeah, Betsy, we've all watched as Omicron caused COVID cases to surge here in Northeast Ohio at the end of last year. But now, just as quickly as cases climbed, they are falling. And I learned that Cuyahoga County has undergone a huge reversal from where we were just 1 month ago. The Cuyahoga County Health Commissioner told me that we hit our peak around January 1st. At that time, Cuyahoga County had the highest rate of cases in Ohio. Today, the county has the lowest rate of cases in the entire state. It's emblematic of just how quickly and how hard Omicron hits. And it's also reflected in our positivity rates. The commissioner told me earlier in the month there was a 36% positivity rate in the community. Now we're down to around 20%.
We hope that in the near term, we will continue to see this drop. And by all accounts, it appears to be still on a downward trend in terms of our positivity, in terms of our case rates. And we all are thankful for this respite from this roller coaster that we've been on for some time.
But this doesn't mean the pandemic is over. Allen said we should continue getting people vaccinated and boosted and get ready for the potential of another variant. Again, we are heading in the right direction here, but we cannot stop taking precautions like masking and continuing vaccinations. I was told counties downstate are 3 to 4 weeks behind us in terms of their cases, with Scioto County on the southern border of the state now sitting at #1 in the state for cases per 100,000 residents. Betsy.
Certainly is good news to hear, and hopefully everybody's just going to see those numbers continue to decline. Thanks so much for looking into it for us, Isabel.
Well, that Super Bowl 56 is officially set. The Cincinnati Bengals will face the Los Angeles Rams. This happens at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on February 13th. That's 2 weeks from yesterday. We had another insane weekend of playoff football. Both eventual winners had to come back from double-digit deficits. First, the Niners and the Rams. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo, say it ain't so. They hold their breath with this guy late in the games, and that's why. The inadvertent pick would lead to the Rams' go-ahead touchdown, and that would punch their ticket to a Super Bowl to be played in their own stadium. Before last year, it had never happened. Now it's happened 2 years in a row. And the Bengals had to crawl from 18 points down in Kansas City. They were down 21-3, but blew the lead again. Tied at 24 in overtime when Cincy's rookie kicker, who's been straight cash this postseason, nails another big kick. That sends the Bengals to their 3rd Super Bowl in team history with the 27-24 win in overtime over the vaunted Chiefs. It's Cincy's first Super Bowl in 33 years. Joe Burrow and head coach Zach Taylor crediting the fans.
You know, I think if you would have told me before the season that we'd be going to the Super Bowl, I probably would have called you crazy. But then, you know, we played a whole season, and you know, nothing surprises me now. I know the kind of guys that we have and the team that we have. So, you know, there's still one left. We're excited about this one.
We got such tremendous fans and support here in this bar, and we want to spread these around town and let everyone enjoy it. So I'm glad Miss Kay's got one of them. She can share with everybody at the bar.
Real love affair going on right now between the Bengals and their fans. So it's the Bengals and the Rams, Sunday, February 13th. You'll see it right here on NBC News, on NBC3. Is it me or does Joe Burrow remind you of Macaulay Culkin?
Totally. I was like, he looks so familiar.
He looks like he's home alone, and now he's going to the Super Bowl in his second season in the NFL. It really is stunning. The Browns beat them this year. They beat them handily when both teams were at full strength, and they did it in Cincinnati.
And then the guy on the other team.
I only bring that up because I want to remind fans that this team is not far away. This Browns team is not far away. They were 2-0 against Cincinnati this year, and they beat them handily in their place when both teams were full strength.
Well, speaking of not far away, we're talking deadlines coming up.
Yes,
what
we are.
Deadlines? Well, tax season, of course, and also applying for college. We're just going to talk about all kinds of deadlines, what you need to know in this Money Monday.
Then big baby news, singer Rihanna is pregnant. We have the details ahead in Pop Break with Kiera.
All right, J. Mike, we have a lot to talk about, don't we, my friend?
We do. We've been busy over the past few days, and we're going to be very busy over the following days as well. But for night, again, we have another calm night out here. It is going to be dry, and for some areas down south, Tuscarawas, Carroll County, even Stark County, you're already in the 30s. Talking about 20s for the rest of the evening here, and even teens by sunrise. That full forecast, Chief Meteorologist Betsy Kling and I will be back in just a few, along with Jay Crawford.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Money Monday now on What's New, and we have important deadlines to talk about.
Yeah, some of these people get really anxious about. We're talking taxes, as today is the last day for your employer to submit their copies of W-2 forms to all employees. Today's deadline also applies to certain 1099 forms. Those are for independent contractors to report non-employee compensation. There's still a bit of time, though, before you need to file. That's not coming up until mid to late April. But you'll want to act as fast as you possibly can, and here's why. Betsy, the IRS is still processing around 6 million tax returns from last year.
Yeah, they let
so
everybody
get those in early.
extend them.
Right. Yep.
Well, you know, college is getting more expensive each year, and financial aid can make all the difference. Tomorrow, February 1st, is the priority deadline to submit FAFSA. That is the free application for federal student aid. About 68% of families with students in college will fill it out. It's important to fill out the form early so you have the best chance at getting the money. The final day to file will be April 1st. Make sure you keep an eye on that. And boy, oh boy, talk about filing and details.
And keeping an eye on.
Deadlines. Oh my goodness, we have so much that is going on with this storm. Jason Michael joining us today. And you know, Jason, Matt's on the morning show all week to keep an eye on things. So we're teamed up for the entire week in the weather side of things. This is going to be your first winter storm with me. And I think you've already seen me kind of work through a few phases of chaos. He's been...
But a great example of what to do and what not to do and how to handle things in great pressure.
It's a very gray line that keeps moving at this point, and that's pretty much what we're working on now. Jay has not yet seen the Betsy Impact Index. We'll show that to him at 5:30. Here's the Winter Storm Watch. It's for all of us. Wednesday afternoon through Friday morning. Tuscarawas, Carroll counties, you're coming. You will be added. I can't stress this enough. Wednesday is not going to be a great day for us. Everybody's kind of poo-pooing Wednesday because it's only rain. That's the worst thing we could possibly get. The storm starts Wednesday. Temperatures will be above freezing. We're going to start to melt off some of the snow that we have, but then we're going to also add rain. That is going to make a slushy, wet mess. The drains are blocked. The water has nowhere to go, so we are talking about widespread standing water, road flooding likely. Now let's throw a winter storm with some cold air invading on top of all of that. Doesn't that sound super fun? Here's the way this is going to go down. This is Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Temperature's still well above freezing here, and the rain is not here yet, but the rain moves in through the day on Wednesday. Note, we have that north wind. The north wind is a signal that we have cold air that will invade, and that cold air will be a very thin slice at the bottom of the atmosphere. Western areas will turn to snow first. The fluff factor will be huge for Toledo. They're expecting a lot of snow in Toledo, more than we have. But Wednesday night into Thursday morning, you can see this line here, that pink line, that is the freezing rain and sleet, the transition zone. That moves from north to south through the area as temperatures cool. By Thursday morning, we have heavy snow coming down along the lakeshore with that weird icy mix setting up farther south. And then we're going to stay there all day Thursday. And that's why we have different zones that we're breaking out. All snow with heavy accumulations. I'm going to put you out there. My mother called. Jay, you will appreciate this. What's it really going to be? This is what I get. Like I'm lying. What's it really going to be? 10 plus. This is what I'm going with. 10 plus. Sky's the limit out by Toledo. They're talking maybe 2 feet there, but I think 10 plus is a pretty solid bet. So we'll just give you a nice wide berth, 10 to 20 inches. Farther south, this ice mix, less snow, but more mixing. And then farther south, we have ice concerns with icing, freezing rain, potential power outages, the whole thing. Again, this starts Wednesday with rain. That's going to set things up. But tomorrow, we actually have a pretty nice day coming. Jay has more on that.
Thank you so much, Betsy. Our chief just gave you the feature film that we're going to give you kind of what leads up to that come Wednesday as well. So we start out with the live picture. You can see what is trending on the satellite and radar. We're watching these two areas. So you're low to the north, low down to the south. We have that Gulf moisture coming in. And back over towards the Four Corners region, it's going to be like a slingshot of energy that propels all of this into the Central Plain states and eventually into the Ohio River Valley. So again, we start broad to see how this is going to trend over the next couple of days here. Your National Design Mart week ahead, again, watching this energy down south. We'll have energy up north here with that cold front likely to extend. We really have to watch how fast and where this aerial low will trend north or south. As Betsy was just saying, it could make the difference as this warm air advects over the cold air. Remember, cold air sinks, warm air rises. As we make our way into Wednesday night into Thursday, we start to see that pink line, that freezing rain ice mix behind that very cold air. Once the low swings through, the front moves through as well. All of the precipitation will change over to snow and will likely be heavy snow as well. So your Union Home Mortgage outlook, again, showing this. By the time we get to Wednesday, 30s expected, and then quickly falling once the low passes, the front moves through, ice over to heavy snow. By Friday, we will have lingering snows as well, beginning with teens to 20 degrees, but very, very Arctic cold air. Could likely be the coldest temperatures we've seen thus far this season, down into the negatives for surface lows. We'll talk much more about what's coming up on What's New after this.
Hey Matt, Jake's son is teaching him French. Do you know any other languages? Any other languages? Okay. Oh, okay. That's still good though. All right.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to take a Monday pop break with our Kira Cotton. And Key, you have some fun stories for us today from the entertainment world.
That's right, Betsy. Happy Monday. And you're absolutely right. We have a lot going on today. But up first, hip-hop artist Drake may be one of the biggest in the game. But if you ask his 4-year-old son Adonis, he could still stand to learn a few things. In a video posted to Instagram, Drake and Adonis are sitting together just chatting things up when he offers to teach him some French. Now, what exactly he says is still up for debate, but the moment itself couldn't have been cuter. And it's the news that everyone has been talking about all day. Singer and entrepreneur Rihanna is expecting her first child with boyfriend A$AP Rocky. The 33-year-old debuted her growing baby bump in a series of photos taken over the weekend in New York. The fancy beauty mogul is wearing a long, oversized pink jacket that is unbuttoned to show off her jewel-draped bump. The baby news comes after months of speculation from fans. The couple first confirmed their relationship in late 2020 after years of friendship. And if you're looking to introduce your taste buds to royalty, Queen Elizabeth has you covered. The Queen has launched her own condiment line featuring ketchup and brown sauce, which is kind of like a steak sauce. Both products are available for around $10. Jay and Betsy, back to you guys.
Wow, things I did not think would happen in this
Yeah,
world.
that's
The Queen has ketchup.
That's out of left field.
Boom.
All right, here's your worth to watch. It happened during yesterday's AFC Championship game, Bengals and the Chiefs. Did you see the halftime show? There's a good chance you saw it, but there's almost no chance you heard it. You see, the crew was lined up right next to the huge speakers for country singer Walker Hayes, who was performing live for the fans there. It was hilarious. Take a look.
As we welcome Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Walker Hayes.
He's got time, Phil, and he's burning.
Jason, check out these numbers. All right, so week 17, we know 3 touchdowns, 266 yards, just 2 catches, 10 yards on day. So you have to give that.
Betsy, at one point, Boomer Esiason said, I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, no clue. Remember when I went down to the raceway down in Wayne County, Preston? I did the live shot, or Mansfield, and I did the live shot, and they started the race car right next to me.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't hear anything.
I've had it happen many times. One time, actually once here in Cleveland, I was here covering the 2016 World Series, and they had us set up on 4th. And every time they came to us, the streets got so loud and they made so much noise, we couldn't even hear ourselves or what in the world was going on. It's tough. So kudos to you guys for trying
Even
to get through it.
happens to the network, boys.
Yeah, we
How
had
about
to
that?
laugh. We had to laugh.
Well, still ahead for us. We continue to keep an eye on this storm that's coming in. I'll have the latest timeline for you, the impacts as well.
And a winning Mega Millions ticket sold right here in Cleveland. Stephanie Haney, is that you?
Is it?
Is that you? We're going to tell you exactly where this winning ticket was purchased when What's New comes right back.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
We begin tonight with 3 things to know now at 5:30, and we are preparing for another major winter storm. This one's going to be big. I have a timeline in just a couple of seconds here coming up, but ODOT is also making sure they have everything in order. They plan to keep the typical 300 plows on the roads across Northeast Ohio with workers on extended shifts. Today, mechanics have been working to make sure all the equipment is operational. But because this snowfall will likely continue through Thursday and into Friday, there are some highway technicians who are taking days off now to get ready. Sounds like how we're staffing up on the weather department. Well, 1 man is dead. 2 other females are recovering after an explosion inside a storage unit this morning. This happened at Corkin Granite in Talmadge around 8:30. So far, there's been no word of what caused the explosion. State fire marshals continue to investigate.
And Betsy, number 3, more good news when it comes to the coronavirus here in Ohio. The state's numbers are way down again today. In fact, we saw the lowest number of new cases today since November 28th. Our number, 4,160 reported over the last 24 hours, compared to our 3-week average of nearly 18,000. And take a look at our hospitalizations, just 151 new hospitalizations. And Betsy, as we speak today, there are barely over 4,000 COVID-19 patients in Ohio hospitals. Less than 3 weeks ago, that number was just short of 7,000.
Oh my goodness.
So it's been cut by about 40% in 3 weeks. All of that is certainly good news. And with that, we welcome you back to the second half hour of What's New with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Certainly great news there. And we talked about this earlier in the show, but not long ago, about 3 weeks ago, Ohio was the hot spot in the country. And of that hot spot, Cuyahoga County was number 1 in Ohio. Today, Cuyahoga County dead last, 88th in the state in terms of cases per 100,000.
That is so good. Nice to see everybody kind of giving some space and getting through this much better. Certainly.
Yeah. Now, we're all gearing up for big weather here, but our top talker at 5:30 hit the Northeast over the weekend. Millions in that part of the country still digging out after a deadly and powerful winter storm pummeled the region over the weekend. At the height of the storm, power outages impact roughly 100,000 customers. This is just in Massachusetts alone. Boston, in fact, tied its single-day record with nearly 2 feet of snow. And those power outages from blizzard conditions, they still continue in parts of 10 states. It was a doozy. And Betsy, we have avoided that particular system, but we are squarely in the crosshairs of a really big system that sounds like it's like this triple threat because it's going to be a little bit of everything all wrapped up into one storm.
That's the thing. Don't focus on numbers and get caught up in how much. We're getting hit and we're going to have big impacts. And I don't care how much you end up with snow-wise on the back end of things. We have a lot to talk about. There's a look at the satellite and radar, and you can see that these are the various parts of the storm system that will be coming together. The cold air to the north, the rain in the south, and a big shot of energy that's coming on the west coast right now. And meanwhile, the National Weather Service has been putting out the alerts in advance of the storm coming together. The dark blue, all winter storm watches, and that includes Northeast Ohio. I have no idea where my county lines are, but they're there somewhere. We do have a winter storm watch for the entire area, with the exception of Tuscarawas and Carroll counties. Your watch will be coming. There's a time frame that they try to stay within, and that watch will likely be issued later tonight or into tomorrow. All snow north. Ice mix and snow in our central areas, and more ice, less snow farther to the south. Now, we're going to go zone by zone here. First, we're going to talk about our southern counties, Wayne, Holmes, Stark, Tuscarawas, and Carroll counties. Thursday, we have rain to freezing rain. Not a good thing. We are talking about a coating of ice, maybe a 1/4 of an inch. That could cause a lot of power outages. That ice mix will change to snow later, mid to late day on Thursday. And we have concerns for flooding because of the rain on Wednesday, but then icing and then the slush, and it all freezes solid by the time we hit Saturday morning. The transition zone includes Richland, Ashland, Medina, Wayne, Summit, Portage, and Trumbull counties. And this is where we have the Thursday rain to mix changeover, and it's going to stay put. We'll have sleet and freezing rain. We'll probably have some snow that goes on top of all of that as we make the transition, and it lasts into Friday. We do have heavy snow accumulation potential. And then for Erie, Huron, Lorain, Cuyahoga, Lake, Geauga, and Ashtabula counties, this is the snow zone. You are most likely to have the highest snow amounts, especially west rather than east. And for the most part, we're looking for that rain to snow changeover to take place as we go Wednesday night into Thursday morning. All of this can still shift north and south, but the impacts will be felt across the entire area. So I have to show Jay, and I don't know why this is not showing up. It's so weird. I have parts of my graphics that are missing. But anyway, this is the Betsy Storm Impact Index. And the words that you don't see here are dinger, dandy, doozy, and damn. And we are here at damn. Jay had asked. Damn. I'm going to be a GIF at some point, I guarantee you. Matt's going to put me into his thing. Jay had just asked me where on this scale would the blizzard of 78 be. On a scale of 1 to 10, the blizzard of 78 is an 11. That would probably be a double. But we're going to feel this one, friends. So definitely make sure that you take precautions now. And Jason, we have a beautiful day coming tomorrow, so we have a lot of time to get ready, get that snow and slush out of the way.
We do. I've been seeing some people on Twitter talk about what they're doing to prepare. Some people not really taking it as serious as kind of we want them to do it. But we have one more day, guys, one more day, just over about 30 hours before we start to see things take a change, okay? And that comes in the form of rain starting out. So we're seeing it be relatively quiet here across the Buckeye State, but again, that's going to be changing over the next 24 to 30 hours with that rain shower moving in. We're going to talk about that full forecast and time it out for you in greater detail, Betsy and I, coming up. Jay?
Well, Jason, then after weather, LeBron James trolls the Cleveland Browns after Odell Beckham Jr. makes the Super Bowl. I don't think that's very nice. We're going to talk about that in Clicking in Cleveland. Also, a new balloon release ban in Cleveland has our Mike Polk Jr. thinking, and he's come up with a few new thoughts. We're going to hear from Mike and a city councilman. That will be funny. Coming up.
Mic check, this is what's clicking in Cleveland today. LeBron James. Okay. I had a friend of mine giving me grief on that, telling me I should be playing Megan.
Well, everybody, we've switched around a few things and got it figured out here. So, Jay, pay attention because I got the meter fixed, the index, if you will. And maybe we'll throw a few more in there. So here's the deal. We have a beautiful day tomorrow to get caught up with everything. Clear the driveway, unblock the drains around your property. Always a good plan of attack. I've lost my clicker, but I'll just talk about this meter while I go get it. And there you can see we're kind of up at the 8+ category here. So we're about a 9. So I know this seems like it's, ooh, the sun is out. How could this be so bad? Well, this storm is just starting to come together, everybody. And as it comes together, we are anticipating seeing some pretty big impacts here. So winter storm watch has been issued for Wednesday afternoon through Friday and into, Friday morning. So all the way through Thursday. Thursday is going to be our most painful day of winter weather. We have rain on Wednesday. Don't poo-poo the rain. We need to keep an eye on the rain because we're going to have a lot of standing water. And then you put standing water and cold air together. What do you get? You get ice on top of wintry weather that's coming in. So we got issues. Travel on the roads and in the air, very high impacts. A lot of folks are already hearing from the airlines on Thursday and Friday flights. They are moving things around. Go earlier rather than later. Okay, so if you can get out Wednesday, get out Wednesday. If you can get out Tuesday, even better. Otherwise, you're going to wait till Saturday or probably even Sunday to get caught up. And school closings are going to be a big deal both Thursday and Friday. Power outage is also going to be an issue. Here's the big picture. We have rain that moves in on Wednesday. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon Wednesday. Temperatures still well into the 30s. I wouldn't be surprised if we make it into some 40s on Wednesday afternoon. The big stink starts once the cold air starts to move in Wednesday evening into Wednesday overnight. That cold air comes in first areas west. On the leading edge of the cold air, we will have a sleet and freezing rain zone. That sleet and freezing rain zone will move south by Thursday morning, and here's the problem. It just kind of sits there. Meanwhile, we got snow coming down to beat the band along the lakeshore areas through the entire day on Thursday. Then by the time we hit Thursday evening, cold air not only comes in, but it intensifies. All that slush that's standing around will be freezing up. So we have just kind of one issue that just piles on top, piles on top, piles on top. The heaviest snow will be in the lakeshore areas, Erie and Huron County, and points west. Ice mix and snow, not as much accumulation, but don't think that that makes it easier for you because it's going to be an icy mix that you have accumulating. And then that freezing rain chance farther south is definitely a big concern for everybody. So you got tomorrow to get ready, and then the rain gets here on Wednesday. Jason, you have more on that whole forecast.
Betsy, lest we forget that we actually have a foot to a couple feet of snow already on the ground.
This
Very cold out there. And the way that we kind of describe this whole event is happening is we're going to have this southerly moisture move on in from the Gulf of Mexico. Anytime you have rising air, it's more buoyant. It's causing a lot of instability. And then once you get that cold air evecting it lifts all of that up into the atmosphere. And it really causes a messy, very situation here. So your National Design Mar hour-by-hour forecast in the days ahead is going to show where we're going to have a very unlikely marriage happens between these two systems, one up to the north and one down south there. You can see there. Once this energy moves in, it is already coming again from the south up to the north. Widespread rainfall, as Betsy was just saying. Once that low clears our region, we'll have that Arctic front come on in. That'll change everything from rain, freezing rain, sleet, over to very heavy snow, and that snow will be a very lengthy process. We're talking about hours upon hours of dropping snow on top of what we've already had here. Any sort of ice, again, freezing, turning over and being encased in snowfall. Over the next several hours here, it's not going to be as cold as it was last night. Temperatures, again, still slipping down into the upper teens, into the low 20s, and then rising tomorrow. So again, what's new for us this evening is winter storm watches posted. Models, again, wanting to hone in a bit more on this system, which is great news for us because it helps us with our accuracy. And again, one final day to prepare and also plan for Wednesday heading into Thursday, and again, the early hours for Friday as well. So again, looking at tomorrow, mid-40s expected. A quite nice thaw. And then we get cold again by Wednesday with the system beginning to move on through. Widespread rainfall switching over to a mixed ice, likely turning to heavy snow on Thursday with temperatures falling throughout the day. Friday morning, Saturday morning, and even Sunday morning, Jay, very, very cold.
Oh, I see that -3 on there. It will be chilly indeed. Okay, Jace, thanks. Time to see right now what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Stephanie, I heard there was a winning lottery ticket sold in Cleveland, and I immediately thought of you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't me, unfortunately. Spoiler alert. We'll get to that in just a second. But you want to talk about something chilly. A chilly reception from the kid from Akron, LeBron James. He is throwing shade our way. After Odell Beckham Jr. landed a spot in the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams, he shared this meme from Complex Sports on his Instagram story.
Ha ha, joke's on you, high five. I'm bulletproof, ha ha, joke's on you, high five. I'm bulletproof.
Now, remember when James tweeted this, calling for OBJ to leave the Browns? James also says he's a big Cleveland Browns fan, and he does show his support online, like when Nick Chubb is dominating the game, posted this back in September. But can we all just agree this is a real too soon scenario, King James? Especially with the Bengals in the Super Bowl too. It's just really fresh, and it hurts, to be honest. Now, in happier news, Halsey is bringing their Love and Power tour to Blossom Music Center. The singer is very excited to be back on the road in the U.S. for the first time since 2018. The show will be June 3rd, featuring songs from Halsey's latest album, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power, which hit the #2 spot on Billboard's U.S. charts, by the way. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. for everyone and Tuesday at 10 a.m. for people who got tickets to Halsey's Manic tour, and that was canceled in 2020. Now, as excited as I am for this person, I am also extremely jealous because, yes, there was a winning Mega Millions lottery ticket sold in Cleveland for Friday's drawing. The lucky ticket holder or holders matched 5 numbers, so that's a $1 million prize. And they paid the extra buck for the multiplier, so multiply that by 3, and that $2 investment is now worth $3 million. The winning ticket was sold at C's Beverage and Deli on Broadview Road in Cleveland. Yes, I have been there. $426 million was the jackpot, by the way, but they missed that because they didn't match the Mega Ball. And my research shows, by the way, Jay and Betsy, there was a Mega Millions winner in Canton in 2020, so I have clearly hitched my horse to the wrong wagon, but I am still committed to the Powerball, so fingers crossed, lightning strikes twice.
Yeah, you've got to see it through now. I mean, you've already started, but good. Congratulations. I hope that person comes forward and lives a happy life. $3 million, that'll get you on a nice highway to happy.
Set you up.
It should, yeah.
And I'm happy to make new friends, so say hi.
Me too. And you're right, LeBron, just a little too soon. I mean, he did call it. He said that OBJ would show he's great again. But do you have to rub it in like that with that whole thing,
it's
whatever
like
that
the
was?
New York Yankees cap at the baseball game.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool at all. All right, still ahead, balloon ban. Mike Polk Jr. talks to a Cleveland councilman on the city's new measure and shares his thoughts on that.
Plus, Sweet Baby G, the special moment for one local gorilla over the weekend. It's coming up and show us something good.
Nothing cuter. Well, like many states, Ohio has its fair share of surprising laws, according to onlyinyourstate.com. In Youngstown, did you know that it is illegal to ride on top of a taxi cab? Now, I imagine that would be illegal everywhere, but it's actually on the books in Youngstown.
Okay.
And in North Canton, it's illegal to get this, Bets, roller skate without informing the police.
That's an interesting.
I wonder how that call goes. Hello,
Hi,
police
I'd like to go
officer.
roller skating,
This is
please.
Betsy. I'll be out roller skating later this afternoon.
What about inline skates? Those aren't really.
Well, it's not roller skates, so I think you can do that without checking with the police.
Well, there's now a new law that you probably never expected on the books that's here in Cleveland, and this one involves balloons. So, of course, our Mike Polk Jr. has something to say about that.
For too long, there has been a quiet menace plaguing our Northeast Ohio skies and wreaking havoc on our city. I'm speaking, of course, about balloons.
It's a ban on release of 10 or more balloons.
Ward 16 Councilman Brian Casey recognized that Cleveland's balloon issue needed to be addressed. That's why council just passed a law that makes the release of 10 or more balloons illegal. But where exactly is this anti-balloon sentiment coming from? Why is our city council such a bunch of balloon buzzkills?
And that came about because of the issues that balloons are causing to, one, our utilities, and two, the environment.
Casey says that in addition to the environmental benefits of not littering the earth with mass amounts of festive trash, the main issue is that balloons frequently get stuck in power lines, causing outages.
Cleveland Public Power averages a little more than one outage per month due to Mylar balloons.
Which is not good, even if it is really cool to watch happen. What's the punishment for releasing more than 9 balloons in Cleveland now?
So it'll be a misdemeanor offense now, punishable with a $150 fine.
If you're some kind of balloon loon who's going out there and releasing 100 balloons a day and just, then eventually you might have to go to jail.
That was the case, yeah.
Which would be tricky to explain to your cellmate why you're in there if you were like, I just couldn't stop releasing balloons. I pushed the councilman for some clarification regarding the new ordinance. If it's 11:59 p.m. and I release 9 balloons and then it turns to midnight and I release another 9 balloons, did I just do something illegal? It's different days.
Yeah, but it's not within 24 hours.
I see. Okay.
So we didn't go by day, we went by hour.
If I go on a boat out on Lake Erie, just like 30 feet out, can I release as many balloons as I want?
If you're within the city of Cleveland,
okay,
right, and we do know the city of Cleveland does extend into the lake, you can only release 9.
Casey says the main goal of the new law is to educate the public on the dangers balloons have on the environment and to encourage alternative options instead.
You could blow bubbles, you could plant grass seed, in hopes of, the grass growing.
You know how kids love getting together at a birthday party and planting some grass seed.
If anybody needs any alternatives to releasing balloons, Cleveland Public Power's website has a list of things you can do, or you can always reach out to me and we'll come up with alternatives to help you come up with another idea as opposed to releasing the balloons.
So remember, folks, there's a new rule on the books and law enforcement is on high alert. So if you want to keep your record clean, limit those celebratory balloon releases to no more than 9 units, or be prepared to face the consequences. Because in Cleveland, balloon justice is on the rise. This is Mike Polk, working the Mylar beat for 3 News.
I thought the councilman did a great job of playing along with Mike, because you can tell he was very serious about this. This is a very serious issue. Mike's the question about so if I do it at 11:59 and then do it after midnight, no, it's a 24-hour window. He was starting to get a little annoyed there, but I think he handled it well.
Can you blame him though?
No,
I mean,
I can't.
It is a big deal. So I know people like, oh, come on, but it is a big deal. You just need to look up Balloon Fest 1986 and you'll start to get some
epic
ideas.
fail.
That was a bad deal.
Yeah. All right. Next on What's New, our show is something good will melt your heart. I promise you that. The latest addition to the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo is learning something new.
And then on What Matters Most at 6, our snow coverage continues on the latest timeline and impacts.
like both of these teams have a tie to Cleveland.
Right, exactly.
And,
Yeah.
you know, without Paul Brown being fired, there is no Cincinnati Rams.
Yeah.
And the LA Rams once called.
Yes, his ear's not in.
Hi, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, testing 1, 2, gotcha. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell. I'm Laura Queso. Yeah, if you mention the Rams in St. Louis now, you might get shot.
Hey, I'm here. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Wow, back in my spot. Thank you.
Mike check. Allen said about 66% of the population in Cuyahoga County has received 2 doses. Thank you.
Al, I am here. Fans coming down to any event related to the mortgage.
This is so cool. Today's show is something good. It comes right from the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. They posted this video over the weekend of their new baby gorilla, Little G, and watch this. Yay, go baby, go. This is the first time he crawled. Of course, proud mom Freddie is there to watch it all, and thankfully we are too. Oh, that's so cute.
All that's lacking was mom and a cell phone recording all of it.
Well, they have zookeepers to do that. There you go.
That's adorable. It really is. We're out of time. Thank you so much for watching. We're back tomorrow at 5, and we hope to see you then.
And what matters most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, 2 days to prepare. With another major winter storm in the forecast, everyone from road crews to utility companies are getting ready now for the worst. Team coverage coming up, including the latest from Betsy. Also, catching a break.
I hope we don't see another variant, and we'll remain optimistic.
Finally, some relief for local hospitals pushed to the brink by the pandemic. Deadly blast.
We've got debris at least 100 yards downrange.
In what appears to be a freak accident, there's new information tonight on an explosion that rocked a Portage County company. And the countdown begins. From the NBA All-Star Game in Cleveland to the start of the Winter Games this week and an Ohio team finally back in the Super Bowl, we'll tell you about these 3 mega events now just days away.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Laura Queso. Tonight, preparing for another major winter storm. Just 2 weeks after we got more than a foot of snow, another blast of winter is upon us.
The chief is here with a first look at the potential track of this storm. Hey, Betsy.
Hi there. Yeah, the last storm we just dealt with snow. This one, we got all kinds of different precipitation types heading our way. The cold air is to the north. The moisture is just getting northbound now from the deep south. And this is a big kick of energy that's coming in. And all 3 will be coming together over the Central Plains here in the next 24 hours and then starting to move to the northeast. We are under a winter storm watch. Kicks off Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday, all the way into Friday morning, and we have a whole list of issues that we have to contend with. My top 3 concerns: rain on Wednesday. We will have warming temperatures. That means a little melting snow, but then you add rain to that. Friends, we have a lot of blocked drains here in Northeast Ohio, so get ready for some flooding on the roads, a lot of standing water. Then we have to deal with the changeover. That rain will change over to an icy mix and snow as we go through Wednesday night into Thursday. When and where that changeover takes place, and there will be a process that it goes through, that will determine ultimately how much on the backside of all of this. But Thursday is not going to be a picnic. We have the snow and the ice mix all day Thursday, and this storm doesn't move out until we get into Friday. So the timeline kind of spells out like this. As I mentioned, we have rain that is moving in on Wednesday. That changeover begins from northwest to southeast starting Wednesday night and then continues as we go late day Thursday. Temperatures dropping, all the slush, all the water. It's going to freeze solid by the time we get into Saturday. So that's going to then be another layer on this whole thing. Road travel, air travel, very high impacts, not only Wednesday, but especially Thursday and Friday, because we're going to have blowing snow issues on Friday. School closings, a lot on Thursday and Friday, and power outages are also going to be an issue. This is going to be a storm that's going to determine a lot of, people's plans for the weekends. As of right now, I would say don't plan anything for Thursday or Friday, and we'll start to dig out as we get into Saturday. Laura?
Oh, geez, we have a lot more to talk about. Betsy, thanks. We'll see you and Jason a little bit later.
ODOT is already making plans to make sure the roads are as clear as possible, but the agency is also setting the expectation early that conditions will not be perfect when that snow starts to fall. Brandon Simmons has details.
All right, everybody, we're in for another heavy snowfall midweek, and that means the roads will look nothing like they do today. In fact, the conditions on the road could deteriorate rather quickly with icy and snowy conditions. ODOT had a call with the National Weather Service today, and we're warned we could see snowfall like we did a couple weeks back on Martin Luther King Day. Now, the good news, this isn't the first storm of the year, so a lot of the major prep work is already done. But now, mechanics are making sure that all the trucks are in tip-top shape, and some highway technicians are actually taking some days off to make sure they're available to work those 12-hour shifts later in the week. Now, that's when there will be 300 trucks on the road throughout Northeast Ohio. But even with all workers available, the roads will likely still be messy when the snow starts falling.
They're not going to be perfect like you're seeing today. They're just going to be passable. You might just see tire treads, or you might even still see a little bit of snow all over all the pavement. But look to the right or the left of you. I bet there's a lot of snow sitting on the edge of the road, and that's how you'll know that we've been there.
And this is that friendly reminder that when you do see them working, you should not crowd the plows on the highway or on city streets. Make sure you give them plenty of room to operate, especially in low visibility situations. Now, if the conditions do get as bad as they're predicted to be, it may be best for you to just stay home if you possibly can. And of course, if you do have to go out on the road, make sure you do it safely. Check ODOT's website and their app where you can look at live traffic cameras so that you know what you're getting into before you go out. I'm Brandon Simmons, 3 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you. And Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb warned city residents today to keep expectations in check ahead of this storm. The mayor reiterated his plan announced last week to improve the city's snow removal, which includes adding more plows and using technology to map more efficient routes. He also said he is working with the RTA and healthcare institutions to better coordinate resources, and he'll have more to say on this topic tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And of course, for information about what routes and streets crews are plowing around the city, text the word plow to 216-344-3300, and we will be sure to send a link with Cleveland's new snowplow tracker website right to your phone.
A deadly explosion this morning at a Talmadge business. Appears to be an industrial accident. The Talmadge Fire Department says that blast happened around 8:30 in a storage unit outside of the Cork and Granite lot. When crews arrived, they found 1 man dead and 2 women injured. The fire department says those workers may have been trying to thaw out a frozen lock on the unit when that blast happened.
Our belief is they were trying to thaw them out in some way to gain access. What exactly they were using or what exactly they were attempting to thaw is still under investigation.
The state fire marshal and Talmadge police are continuing their investigation.
And now to the pandemic, and the FDA has granted Moderna full approval to its COVID-19 vaccine. The shot has already been given to tens of millions of Americans since its emergency use authorization in December of 2020. But this new approval means people ages 18 and older can now get the 2-dose shot. Moderna is the second COVID vaccine to receive full approval from the FDA. Meantime, we have good news to share tonight about the number of new COVID cases right here in Ohio. The State Department of Health reporting a state increase of 4,160 new cases. And get this, it is the lowest daily case number since November 28th. And for perspective, Back on January 1st, Cuyahoga County held a title we never ever wanted, the highest COVID-19 case rate among all 88 Ohio counties. Today, it is a completely different story for us, with the county currently sitting at the lowest COVID-19 rate in the entire state. Our Isabel Lawrence spoke with the County Board of Health to find out what this means and where we go from here.
It's a significant relief right now.
Hospitals and communities across Cuyahoga County able to take a moment to breathe as the crushing Omicron surge is starting to come down. COVID patients in Cleveland Clinic hospitals across the state have dropped from 1,200 to 393 in less than a month. A sign Dr. Robert Wiley at the clinic says is promising.
I think so. I hope so. I hope we don't see another variant. And we'll remain optimistic.
There's reason to be optimistic. The Cuyahoga County Board of Health has seen the county do a 180 in just 1 month.
We peaked somewhere around the first of the year. At that time, the first of the year, we had the highest rate of cases in Ohio among the 88 counties. We were 13 times the CDC rate for high transmission.
Now Cuyahoga is the county with the lowest cases per 100,000 in the state. County Health Commissioner Terry Allen says at its peak, there was a 36% positivity rate in the community. Now it's 20%.
We now have, amazingly here at the end of January, the lowest case rate in the state. And we went now from our peak at 13 times the CDC rate of high transmission. We're now at about 4 times the CDC rate of high transmission, and we continue to drop.
As quickly as Omicron tore through Northeast Ohio, it's starting to recede. But Allen insists that's no reason to let down our guard.
So there is hope, but we have to continue doing what works even during this break. We want people to get vaccinated. We want people to get boosted, and we want people to get their children vaccinated.
Now, Allen said about 66%
is trying to leverage the upcoming NBA All-Star game to boost that number. Mark Namick breaks down the mayor's plans and the help he's getting from the NBA.
While we are seeing a slight decrease in COVID-19 cases throughout the city, the vaccination rates in our city are still too low.
Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb is pledging to reach the hard-to-reach residents with a new message and more resources.
We need to have a very intentional communication campaign to really assuage some of the mistrust and disinformation that exists about COVID-19. That's critical.
The NBA is lending players and basketball legends to a vaccine education campaign, and the city and the league will run pop-up vaccine clinics in the neighborhoods with low vaccination rates.
We will have special incentives for you to get your vaccine or booster, including all-star tickets, merchandise, and special autographed items, tickets to Cavs games, and more.
The NBA is also donating $100,000 to the Cleveland Foundation's COVID-19 Recovery Fund. The mayor is shooting for a 60% vaccination rate among citizens by year's end, something he said can't be achieved by City Hall alone.
As I said throughout my campaign, that not one organization in our community can solve these problems in isolation. And this partnership is going to go a long way to make sure we can have an inclusive comeback coming out of this pandemic.
Fans coming to the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for any of the All-Star events will have to show proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID test at least 48 hours before the events. Now, the mayor and the NBA and the Cavs are recommending everyone wear masks, but they're not mandating them. The mayor was asked about that today, and he said it's often counterproductive. Russ?
Okay, Mark Namick, and the Cavs could have used the mayor last night. Nice shot. Looked good out there.
Yeah, he missed a few before that one was taken. I just wanted in full transparency.
I see. All right. Thanks for the perspective. Mark Namick, thank you.
Well, the countdown continues to the 2022 Olympics in Beijing that begin, if you can believe it, in just a few days.
And as you can imagine, the excitement is growing for the games to begin, even under those COVID protocols in Beijing. The final touches are in place at the Olympic Park and the stadium called the Birdcage. Opening ceremonies take place Friday morning. You can see them right here on Channel 3.
Fun stuff.
It's going to be fun. In the meantime, the U.S. Olympic delegation with many of Team USA athletes already in Beijing.
Athletes from Japan, Canada, and Italy have also arrived. Customs officers at Beijing International Airport have been working around the clock to help these athletes go through entry procedures in the shortest possible time with the help of high-tech facilities.
Now something that's proving to be a divisive topic here in Northeast Ohio. We're going to tell you. Hours after the Cincinnati Bengals punched their ticket to the Super Bowl, team head coach Zach Taylor thanked the team's fans. The coach delivered game balls to some of the biggest sports bars in the Cincinnati area. In case you had not heard, the Bengals will face the LA Rams in the Super Bowl. You can also see that right here on Channel 3 on February 13.
My prediction was wrong, huh?
Mine too. Oh, well. Bracket busters. Tonight, breaking down the big game and why this year's matchup is so different.
And while we gear up for a snowstorm here, it's raining iguanas in Florida again. How a cold snap is impacting the animals. And Betsy and Jason are up next with your full forecast.
What Matters Most is sponsored by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
Mic check 1 2 3. A B C D E F G. Mic check 1 2 3. Thank you. Thank you.
Parts of New England are still digging out from a weekend nor'easter. The town of Stoughton, Massachusetts hit the jackpot, if that's what you want to call it, over the weekend, as the city with the most snow on the ground at about 2.5 feet. Call it the jackpot or call it something else, perhaps. While the East Coast is digging out, there's a problem with extreme cold in Florida.
The National Weather Service has issued a falling iguana warning. That's because the lizards are falling out of the trees as that Arctic blast leaves them completely immobilized. But it's only temporary. They're okay. Once the temperature warms up, so do these iguanas. I lived in Florida for several years.
Yeah.
I've seen them. They're okay. You get a little worried.
So
but
this is true.
It's true. It really happens.
Wow.
They're just really cold, apparently.
It's cold. Now, Betsy lived in Florida as well. Now, Betsy, when you lived there, did you have an iguana-o-meter or anything like that?
I did not have a iguana-meter, but I will tell you this. We did have temperatures down in the mid-teens in Jacksonville, Northeast Florida.
Yeah.
And man, they are not equipped to handle those cold temperatures anywhere. So it certainly is a good serve, but I think all of us up here, even with this storm that's coming in, we're gonna feel like iguanas and wanna stiffen up, certainly. There's three different things that are coming together to get this storm rolling. We have cold air in the north. It's behind a cold front. That cold front is a huge part of our forecast. That will meet up with very, very copious amounts of tropical moisture coming out of the south. Uh-oh, we have a clicker issue that's happening right now, so stand by. Jason's got a clicker too, and I wonder if he's clicking with me. Anyway, there's a big shot of energy that's coming on to the west coast right now. Cold air, lots of moisture, big shot of energy, and it's all moving up through the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. The blue, this is all the winter storm watches associated with this storm. They already issued winter storm warnings in Illinois, Indiana, western Ohio, and southwestern Michigan. That's the area that's the slam dunk for all snow. They don't have to worry about any mixing whatsoever. We have a winter storm watch here for most of our counties. Tuscarawas and Carroll counties, you will be added, but not yet. At least that's my hunch. But this goes Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday till Friday morning. We have a whole hot mess that's coming in, y'all. It starts with rain. Please don't poo-poo the rain on Wednesday, because the rain Wednesday is going to cause a lot of problems. We will have a ton of standing water on the roads. All the drains are blocked by the snow on the highways and on the city streets. So if you have a street drain near your property, dig it out if you can. That's going to help you out a lot, because all that's going to happen is this water will continue to sit here, and then when the cold air arrives, it's going to freeze up, and that's going to mean very bad conditions for us. Now, here we go. Jason, this thing is just not happy right now. Just a warning for you. 3 o'clock in the afternoon Wednesday, here's the rain. Watch what happens as we go to Wednesday night. You can see that cold air starting to sneak in. This pink line, that's the sleet and freezing rain, and it will come south and sit all day Thursday. Meanwhile, we have very heavy snow falling along the lakeshore areas. Where we have this mix setting up and where it sits, we will have less total accumulation, but we will have that icy mix, icing on the trees, icing on the driveways and decks and steps. But where we have this all snow, I think we can pretty much bank on 10 plus inches. Western Ohio will have more than that, but we're going to just say 10 plus at this point. Less than 10, but you get the ice mix going on in our central counties here. And farther south, it's more of a concern with freezing rain and sleet, and then a little coating of snow on top of that. This is all setting in Wednesday night into Thursday. Tomorrow, we have a great day to prepare, and Jason has more on that.
Betsy, that time frame is going to be critical. And I was saying before, lest ye forget that we actually have a foot to a couple feet of snow already on the ground. These are the two areas, as Betsy was saying, that we are watching at this hour. Energy ejecting out of the Four Corners region. This is what's going to propel this energy right into the Ozarks and also the Ohio River Valley over the next several hours here. So you can see where this marriage happens here at the altar. It builds over the Wednesday night to Thursday time frame, where we start with that rainfall late overnight Tuesday heading into Wednesday. It becomes very much so widespread. This cold air is going to be very, very thin here, and you're going to have this very warm air advecting over on the top of that. Warm air rises, it becomes very unstable here, and this is what we're going to likely have happen here as we build in through Thursday throughout the morning hours into the afternoon. That freezing rain, that ice line that Betsy was talking about, that is a very, very dangerous line. Once the low progresses across the area, we'll have that cold air wrapping in behind that frontal boundary, and that's what's really going to become widespread snowfall for us. Not as cold overnight tonight. Upper teens to low 20s moving through the area overnight, and then we have that big thaw happening for tomorrow. So what matters most? The impacts. We cannot impress upon you enough the major impacts this storm system is likely to have. Plan and prep ahead of the storm. We have one more day to do that before the storm moves in. And of course, we want to remind you, track the storm right along with us. We have a live blog on our website, WKYC.com, and also you can use the app for information as well. Once we get through Thursday, the Arctic cold moves in. So everything that we receive Wednesday into Thursday is going to become encased. We have much more coming up on What Matters Most after the break.
Me. I had Chiefs and Rams. All right, are we ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Oh, sorry. Hello. I do, Al. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
The Sports Report is sponsored by the people-pleasing people at Sarah Auto Park in Akron.
Hi, everybody. Super Bowl 56 is all set to go 13 days from today, when it will be the Bengals and the Rams. Do you realize, and I know you probably do, but I'm going to be dramatic here. The Bengals 2 years ago won 2 games. Last year they won 4 games, and Joe Burrow, who is absolutely amazing, had his knee blown apart in the month of November. And yet, look at where they are. When that field goal went through by Evan McPherson, Joe Burrow and the Bengals came all the way back from being 18 points down at one of the most difficult places to play as a road team, Arrowhead Stadium, and they went on and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. What a story.
I think if you would have told me before the season that we'd be going to the Super Bowl, I probably would have called you crazy. But then, we played a whole season, and, nothing surprises me now. I know the kind of guys that we have and the team that we have. So, there's still one left. We're excited about this one, but, we'll celebrate tonight and then move on.
He is amazing. Do you realize, and I'll be dramatic here too, do you realize that the Rams were down by 10 points in the fourth quarter to San Francisco? And who helped bring them back? OBJ. He's been amazing as a member of the Rams. Funny how things work out, isn't it? He had 9 catches in the game for 113 yards, and he is on his way to his first ever Super Bowl as a Ram.
Being integrated into the plan, taking me in, just pushing me for excellence, the weight room, everything about this place is right and it's done right. And it's just been an incredible opportunity that I feel like I'm just trying to make the most of. And, here we are playing in the Super Bowl, 1 game away from our dreams.
But I got to tell you, it's with a heavy heart that I say I thought it was going to be us. But anyway, we'll show the game here a week from Sunday. Super Bowl 56, Rams and Bengals. Kickoff at 6:30. Hey, the Cavs had a strange loss last night. Imagine against Detroit, playing in Detroit, and the Pistons are not good. The Cavs raced out to a 15-0 lead and then lost to the Pistons as they got beat late going of the game. Now tonight, they're right back at home. They take on the Pelicans here. New Orleans is 18-31, and without Zion Williamson, once again, who remains out injured. But here come the Cavs, not in a very good mood.
I mean, this is a process for us. And obviously, in the moment, you get frustrated because you know what we're capable of. But when you look at it, realistically, you're going to have these things happen. You are a young team that's learning how to win consistently in this league.
All right, that wraps up sports. Russ and Laura, I don't know if I said this, but 2 years ago, the Bengals only won 2 games.
Things can turn around. See, there you go.
They obviously did.
Yes, they did. All right. Jimmy, thank you very much. And we thank you for watching.
Jimmy and Sarah are back for Front Row at 7. Have a great night. It's beautiful.
It is.
Now, one thing for certain, when this winter storm hits our area, the roads won't be nearly as clean as what we're seeing right now, no matter how many snowplows are out on the road come Wednesday. ODOT workers wrapped up a call with the National Weather Service this afternoon and were told to prepare for icy conditions at times, followed by a lot of snow similar to what we saw around Martin Luther King Day. Although snow could be
FDA approved, Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine has moved from emergency use to full approval by the FDA after undergoing the same rigorous reviews like dozens of other long-established vaccines. Meanwhile, after several delays, Novavax has asked the FDA to approve its protein-based vaccine for adults. Now, Danish scientists are saying the newly found Omicron BA2 subvariant is more contagious than the original strain, but less likely to cause spread among the vaccinated. A federal judge.
Front Row is sponsored by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. Each time,
the community association's manager really manages the property. We make sure that all of your contracts are being upheld and your property is being maintained.
The primetime lineup is sponsored by Tower City Center. Tower City Center, shopping, events, and more at Tower City.
Carl, Leon, you didn't know we were going to do this today, but we've got a special surprise. Our Gold and Silver Circle Committee wants to invite you both into our Gold Circle for 50 years of broadcasting excellence. Congratulations.
Wow. Wow. I hadn't planned on getting here that fast. Just thank you so much.
Like we just had the 25th.
Right.
Thank you for watching 3 News. Watch us live wherever you are, on our website, on our apps, or on your favorite streaming service.